So you came on Sunday, heard a good sermon, sure seemed like you really were learning, but that was days ago. And since that time, you've watched a lot of shows, heard a lot of news, read a lot of photo captions, maybe a book or two. You got the information overload blues, made you forget the good news. Need to remember the good news. So let's check up, let's check up. Pull up a chair for the midweek checkup now.
Welcome to the Midweek Checkup. My name is Lindsey Blair and I'm here with Bobby Gilles. Pastor Jonah Sage preached from 2 Kings 24 in our series, Fall of the House of David.
Jonah said that Jesus is the new and better Josiah. If you missed the sermon or need help remembering, you're in the right place because it's time for the Midweek Checkup, and we're glad you're here.
Jonah began by saying that Josiah began reigning at the age of 8, and his reign is meant to give us further hints of what the coming child Jesus will do. Josiah is a godly king who restored temple worship, which means he restored fellowship with God, and he empowers his workers, one of whom discovered the lost book of the law when working in the temple.
It breaks his heart to learn that they've been missing the voice of God. So he commands his high priest and a cohort of men to go to the temple and speak to the Lord, which means go to the prophet. And so they go to the prophet Huldah, a woman that we know very little about. We know she speaks on behalf of God. The king sees her as able to interpret the Bible for the people, and they see her as the one who has answers for them.
Wickedness and rebellion against the Lord is always punished. There are always consequences, and Huldah reminds them of this. Yes, the Lord is angry. Yes, you have sinned. Yes, your ancestors have failed and rebelled. Yes, she says, there will be consequences. But the humble repentance of the king can preserve the lives of his people. So big picture here is what Josiah is preparing us for, an unexpected child king who will restore our relationship with God, who will reveal the heart of God, and who will intercede with God for us.
If that sounds like Jesus, you're right. But Jesus didn't just make something possible. He brought you all the way home to God. He doesn't empower you to sacrifice. He is the sacrifice. Though he never sinned, never had to tear his clothes in repentance, he died for you. And this, far more than the opening of the scroll of the Bible, reveals the heart of God. If you want to know what God is like, look at Jesus. If you want to know what God feels about you, look at Jesus. If you want to know how God approaches you, look at Jesus. And if you are looking, like Josiah was, for someone to intercede for you, look to Jesus.
Jesus is the removal of all impediments to relationship with God. He is the better Josiah, and so prepare your heart for the coming of a child king, the better Josiah, Jesus of Nazareth, the unexpected refugee child of a teenage virgin, the one who restores our relationship with God through his own sacrifice, the one who reveals the heart of God to us.
This Sunday, we will conclude our series on the fall of the house of David. And in Bible Fellowship, we'll discuss Psalm 93, an enthronement psalm. So join us and bring a friend.